Hi, and welcome to Design It with Tammy Gibbs. I'm Tammy, and I'm so excited that you're here with me today. We're going to be using Artistly 6.0 today. Really excited about all of the changes. Yes, there's some little tweaks still going on, little this, a little that, but yesterday I did a video on their new version of the seamless pattern feature. And I just wanted to remind all of you that this is not located in the same place in case you didn't watch that video and you're having trouble with it still not lining up and working right. It is not the original seamless pattern feature. They still have left it there, and I still think there are some functions for that, just for on the fly digital papers and that sort of thing. They have a lot of different styles that you can kind of just plug something into and you can still use them. They're just not going to be seamless. So I am going to pop right in, and just as a little precursor to getting into today's video, I'm going to show you again where that is so that you can play with it. So if you're under the AI Image Designer version 6, you're going to go all the way over here almost to the middle under select a category, and you're going to see this wonderful seamless patterns version 2. It looks different than this one over here that just says seamless patterns. Let me show you what it looks like. It's the one like this where you can just go through all these different designs and then plug it in, but it just never worked. They started over and gave us another option. Now, it also says down here, always start your prompt with a seamless pattern of to get perfect results. So you leave this and then you build your prompt this way. You can still do folders. It's still private. You can still use Mirror Magic and all of these features. It does not yet. I feel like they probably will add the function to do multiples from your prompt. And also, when you do generate an image, it's going to, you can click on it to regenerate, but it's just going to bring you back here, and it's not going to save your prompt. So just keep those things in mind until they fix those things. Okay, so let's get in today's video. And I also wanted to do a huge shout out because so far the Ultimate Themes Playbook that I launched this week has been my biggest launch so far of any of my playbooks that I've got out. I believe that I'm on number 6 now. We have I believe 4 in the AI artist series. We have 1 in the digital product creator series. And I guess you could kind of say that the Themes Playbook is also in the digital creators. The other one is on marketing and visibility, but this one is just a very usable resource. And everybody so far is loving it. Yesterday, the reviews started coming in, all the 5-star reviews. And I love hearing from y'all. Anytime that you drop me a note, a private message, you comment on YouTube and tell me how much you're enjoying the videos, how much they've meant to you and your business. And in the Facebook group, I mean, all of that, y'all, I read all that stuff. I'm not a huge business. I'm just a South Georgia girl that loves doing creative things, loves helping you grow your business, and this is all just wonderful. So thank you for watching. Just wanted to throw those little things out there and thank all of you that have already purchased the new playbook and all the other playbooks as well. A lot of you have all of my playbooks, and you just don't know how much that means that you're finding so much value in them. So let's pop ahead and let's get started. Today's topic is pretty or profit. And this is the thing, guys. Okay, so if you are in the digital product business, now if you're just doing this for fun, then this won't mean a lot to you. Just ignore everything I say and learn how to make pretty things. But I see so many people in all of the groups that I belong to, mine and other groups that I belong to, that they do beautiful art. And art is supposed to be beautiful, but if you're in it for a business and you're especially just getting started out, it's more important than ever for you to actually think about what you're making. It still needs to be pretty, but there's some art that's pretty, but there's no profit angle specifically for that. So And a lot of this falls in, concept art and stuff like that, things you would find hanging in an art gallery. May not have as much commercial value to you at the moment when you're just getting started. Now, when you build your business and you have fans and followers and they love all your art, then that may be something you can develop. But just you need to start thinking now about what is out there that you need to. And, for several months when I was just trying to get my feet wet again into the digital space and trying to move over from just like traditional fiction publishing, which I have a background in, and I have books on Amazon that are fiction based novels. Um, there's a correlation and a carryover that carries over from that business or that group of people that that are writing books, the novelist. And, one of the things that often cropped up, and this carries over into digital product creators, is the same thought process. A lot of people were going, they would write things, comes to mind memoirs. Everybody wants to write a memoir, which is absolutely wonderful. And I think people actually probably should write something that tells their family, what's going to, how their life was from their perspective. It's a wonderful family type tool. But unless you're a famous person, there's probably not a lot of marketability, or unless something unfortunately tragic happens to you, then memoirs, are not probably going to be the most marketable of products if that's what you're trying to do, if you're trying to be marketable. The same thing goes with fiction books. If you're writing something so obscure that nobody knows or to look for it, then it's not going to be as marketable to you. So, as a digital product creator, that holds true as well. And this is the thing, when you get really, really big, when your stores get big, your websites get big, when you are making a lot of money, then you can do your what I call pet projects. You can do all sorts of things because you already have the traffic there to see it, and people still may like it because they're pretty, so your concept art, if it doesn't sell right away, it doesn't mean don't make it. It just means that expect that your efforts may not pay off for a while. I certainly do not want to discourage any artist from doing what they are led to do artistically. But if you want to make money with it, then that's where I'm going to come in, and I want to kind of bring that all together. So, this new playbook that I've put out will help to make that a little bit easier if you're having a problem identifying things with profit potential, or how you can use certain things for profit potential. I go back to concept art because a lot of times concept art, like things that you would find hanging in a museum or whatever, very artistic works that that you're not removing backgrounds from, that you're not going to use in an invitation, that sort of thing. Okay, most of those things may have a higher perceived value if you save them. So you may not want to sell them in a clip art pack. You may not want to sell them now there are people that do very artistic things that they are fine with putting them in a background pack, something for backgrounds, for invitations and different things like that. So it doesn't mean you can't use scenery, you can't use landscapes, those sort of things. But what I'm really talking about is mainly just not planning for it, or making a lot of things without showing the buyers how to use them. And that's another flip side to how you can deal with this situation. So if you're making a lot of really pretty products, but you're not showing them through your mock-ups and through your descriptions and through how you shelve them basically on Etsy based on where, what category you put them in, the keywords you use, the title you use, then they're not going to find their people, the people that are looking for them. So this video is kind of a little bit, it's prompting, of course, because we're going to go in and we're going to prompt some things. We're going to be working with some Christmas themes, just to have some fun. But at the same time, we're also going to be producing pretty images that can be used for these products. So we're going to go into the whole process already knowing what we want to use those images for. And that way we know that we're not going to be wasting our time and then have beautiful images but not know what to do with them. Now, occasionally you're going to stumble across some things that are going to pop up, and maybe you can't use it for what you intended. Maybe the background doesn't remove properly. I've had videos where I've mentioned this over and over again. Don't spend a lot of time trying to remove a background on a beautiful image that it just doesn't work for. Use them for something else. Use them for wall. I mean, I've got some ballerinas now that were done under the artistic tab or designer, and they just will not. The backgrounds with everything I've tried just do not come off very well, but they're still really pretty images. So I'm probably going to pair those with some sayings, maybe for some wall art for some little children's bed or little girls' bedrooms. So you can still find a way to use those products, but I just the goal for me today is to get you thinking and thinking like a business person when you're designing, because we don't design in a vacuum and become profitable. We design with purpose. So when we go in, we should have an objective every morning when we, warm up the computer, get everything set up, and start designing. If we really want to use the best use of our time, then we're going to, even if we're doing a subject we don't think is trending at the moment, if we're doing porcupines, and porcupines aren't trending, even if we're doing that, we need to be looking at how we can use those porcupines. Can we put them in a clip art pack with other animals? Can we do a full clip art pack with them? Can we put a porcupine on a mug or for a transfer with a cute saying on it? Can we use that porcupine to teach lessons for classroom wall art, like inspirational things that would go in line with a porcupine? I mean, all of these different things are how we set ourselves apart from probably, and this is Tammy's statistics, which really don't amount to anything other than this is just my brain kind of telling me based on what I experience about the percentage of people that are out there creating blindly. And it's a huge percentage. It may not be 90%, it may be 75%. I'm not sure that they have measured that, but there are a whole ton of people, because I run into them every day, that are just doing brilliant, beautiful work. They have absolutely no idea how to sell it. So, if you're one of those people and you want a lot of ideas and you want things to be a little easier in the beginning, because there's absolutely nothing wrong with just getting started and not really knowing all these things. I'm not saying that at all, because number one, you're watching a video, you're improving yourself, you're looking for ways to grow your business. I did the same thing. I do the same thing. Listen, if I've ever wanted to learn how to do anything before the internet came along, I went to the library and checked out all the books on that subject. That's just me. That's my personality. I am very forward thinking when it comes to teaching and learning on my own. When I was doing magazines and publishing magazines, nobody taught me how to do that. I went and learned how to publish a magazine and how to do ads and all of that sort of thing. So I was God given talent, but I was self imposed structure. I went out, I applied myself, I made the effort. I put the effort in. And a lot of success in business is putting the effort in, not taking no for an answer, knowing that you are you can be confident in what you're doing, because if somebody else is doing it and is successful, you have that same ability to go out there and do the same thing. You just have to put the work in to get to where they're at. So anyway, enough of the soapbox. I'll just sort of crawl down now and we'll get started with some of the images. Okay, so what we're going to do is I wanted to tell you about that, but I'm going to go over and just kind of show you where I've gotten started. So we're going to be working a little bit with Christmas, and I've been trying to use, just because I have had some issues. I love the way that the artistic does, but artistic is just driving me crazy with some of the images will come perfectly clean, and some of them, the way that I prompt, probably makes them not come clean in the images. So I'm trying and doing a lot of testing on all of the other generators to try to get good results from them as well in some of the designs and the styles that I want. So I'm going to be playing a lot probably in the regular create from prompt here. So this is the whimsical watercolor illustration of a Christmas teacup with holly pine cones and cinnamon sticks, soft, cozy colors, isolated on a white background, clean edges. Okay, so how could we use this image? I'm going to show you the difference with this, and we're doing this at I'm actually going to bump it up to the larger aspect ratio. Let's talk just a minute about the aspect ratios. When I first started designing, I would mostly use this 1024 by 1024 to design in, which is fine. But the higher your aspect ratio is, then as you do your upscaling and everything, it's going to be better. So if you can design in larger aspect ratios, then it just kind of helps out. Okay, so this was in fast. Now, what I have noticed a little bit about the version 6, whatever they call it the image to prompt, I think. Create from prompt. That's what it is. So the create from prompt, what I have discovered is that when you do fast, it does give you a little bit more muted watercolory look. However, on some images, it goes beyond that and you get almost a blurry image. So you have to be extremely careful when you're prompting for that. So anyway, so we're going to go back in and I'm going to regenerate the exact same prompt, but with the high quality, just so you can see the difference side by side. And this is just this is a sample prompt. Okay. So you see the results are a little crisper, still pretty, but they are a little different. Okay. So now let's talk about whether, this would be a prompt and a image that you could do a lot of different things with. You could put them on cute little people could put them on little coasters. They could even do little iron-ons, and they could use them on the little tea towels, as where they take and print them on their printers, or they do sublimation or DTF, and they could add little cute little sayings to these. So that would be a whole pack. You could even add your own sayings, if you're really talented and you can come up with some cute little kitcheny holiday kind of sayings to go along with them, then you could provide them with a whole pack. That'd be a really good thing to push around Christmas time, for people to make their own Christmas gift kind of things. Have a whole pack of different images with different little sayings that they could buy. Then they could use their sublimation. They could then, if you're offering commercial use, then they could use those locally at little craft fairs or sell them to their friends. They could give them as gifts. So the more different ways that you can actually think of that a person can sell that product, then goes beyond pretty and becomes profitable to you. Okay, so we're going to pop into the Ultimate Themes Playbook. And I've said before, this is over 700 pages, so there are so many different things. But I'm looking under the Christmas and winter holidays right now, little section. And first off, it gives you some pack title inspiration. I really liked this Nutcracker Dreams clip art set. That got me thinking about nutcrackers. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go in and I'm going to come up with a nutcracker clip art. So we're going to take illustration out, and I'm going to do whimsical watercolor. And we're going to put Nutcracker as our subject. And we're going to remove all this. And we're going to go Nutcracker clip art. That's really super simple. We're going to start with that. We're going to do a fast, and then we're going to do a there we go. So very simple. We've got a pretty nutcracker. Now that was the fast one, and that one actually looks pretty good. It's not blurry at all. So I'm going to do 4 of those on fast just to test it to see if it gives us different versions of that. Yes. Now see, that's what I was talking about. Sometimes you get one that is blurry. That's okay. No worries. Okay. So we literally, in just a few seconds, we have 4 Nutcracker images. Now, they're all different, but they're all red. So let's just say we want to do 4 that are in the red colors, but now we want to go over into we'll go into volume 2. I'm going to go to, let's see, whimsical. Oh, I can't do that. Okay. I'm going to go to page 6 and go to whimsical fantasy, and we're going to go to the colors under here because we want to get, all right, wrong place. Let's see, whimsical fantasy. Let's go back to the table of contents. That's not what I want. That's what I want. Whimsical and fun, not whimsical and fantasy. Okay, so colors. So let's try these candy cane pastels. Okay, so now we're beginning to do some different things. I'm going to add in here before the isolated background. Baby blue. Okay. We're going to do those fast to start with. I'm doing 1 test image just to see. How pretty is that? Now that is gorgeous. That should clean up really cool. So now I'm going to regenerate, and I'm going to do 4 images on the fast because that's actually doing a really good job in the look that we want. But that is very pretty. And there is our 4 nutcrackers that all look pretty good in those colors. Now we're going to go back to the colors, and we're going to pick out some other, let's do the craft colors. No, let's do the funky urban graffiti purples, yellows, and see what that does. Just to play around with it. So we're going to replace the colors right here. And we're going to do one test image. Ooh, very pretty. Now we're going to do 4 in the fast. And you see how quickly, I mean, you could have these nutcrackers, and they're all different. But they could go in a whole pack of different colors, and different styles. Okay, so what I'm going to do now, instead of going back with color, I'm going to I'm going to add some different things. I'm going to go into the Volume 2 Playbook, and I'm going to grab, um, let's see, 6 table contents, and I'm going to go to this folk art. So I'm going to change this now to more of a Scandinavian look. Okay. So I'm going to go up to the front, and I'm actually going to keep the whimsical, but I'm going to put hand-drawn, all that. And we're going to test it. We'd like to get some Scandinavian folk art looking version. Oh, wow. Look at that. So that shows you kind of the difference between, using the styling and everything from look at the detail from the playbooks, which is, again, how you elevate your art and really become an AI artist and not just somebody that uses AI to make images. So, okay, I'm going to do a high quality one just to see what the difference is between those two looks. The fast has been doing pretty well. Obviously, the high quality is going to take just a little bit longer. Oh, wow, look at that. Now, that is really pretty too. I actually really do like that. And yeah. Okay. So now we can even go further with our nutcrackers. In that if we really want, more like if we want it to be more vintage looking or whatever, we can go back into one of the playbooks that's going to have I'm going to do this vintage American folk art to see what that does, and then we'll play with adding the other. I'm just going to do this one. I'm going to keep the hand drawn. And we're going to do a fast, and we're going to do one of the other ones just to see that if the colors are different. Okay, so that one didn't do what we needed. Oh, it did, but it did 3 rather than. Okay, it's got themes. Let me correct that. I could still use that image with the 3 of them, but okay, patriotic theme, hand painted sign motives, folk art. Okay, so let's go back. Now this was the fast. Let's see if it'll give us just one. But you see how much more detailed these are now. Isn't he cute? Wow, I really like him. We're going to do a high quality in the American folk art style. Ooh, that's cute. 2 together like that. That's very cute. Now we can also take this part of it and we can move it towards the back to see if it's overpowering the watercolor portions with the theme. So if you see where you want to, like maybe one thing is getting overcrowded, then that's a little tip for you. See how that kind of muted it just a little bit? It's not quite as detailed. But those are all very cool. Okay, so let's now go back into the ultimate Christmas and winter holidays theme here and look and see if we find some additional ideas. Now, this is our theme snapshot. It basically says it's the cornerstone for seasonal design. It sparks lots of buyer demand. It's a from year to year thing. So Santa to snowman to global traditions and cozy home scenes, like fresh each season. So that's where your colors come in from season to season. A lot of times the home decor and stuff follows different color trends for Christmas. They're not always your traditional colors, but you can't usually go wrong with doing traditional colors as well. Okay, so here is the clip art element list. I wanted to talk to you a little bit about other uses for that list. If you are an AI generator, an AI artist, then you can actually take these, copy and paste these elements, and we're going to go in, and I'm just going to pop this in, and let's see, Nutcracker clip art. I don't want the colors, so we're going to go in and we're just going to add Mrs. Claus, and we're going to say baking cookies. Okay, and we still have this folk art, rustic, weathered, patriotic thing. And we're going to do one of Mrs. Claus. And my, that is not Mrs. Claus. That's the worst Mrs. Claus I've ever. Okay, so let's go back in and see if we can fix this. A cute Mrs. Claus wearing an apron and let's see, apron and baking cookies. Now, I am going to remove this part right here. And we're going to say Mrs. Santa Claus. Wearing a dress and apron. And I'm going to do it this way. Okay. Sometimes the AIs just get confused. Okay, so we're still getting this, the beard and everything. So I'm going to do this, Mrs. Santa Claus. I don't like to try to do no beard. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go up here and say Mrs. Claus should be a older woman. And just let it plug that in wherever. Okay, so a gentle older Mrs. Claus wearing a dress and apron. We're going to see if it helped to take the beard away. Nope, still, this is, okay, so this is one of those troubleshooting things. You're going to see me exactly how I handle it, and I promise you we are going to get a Mrs. Claus that does not have a beard. We're going to try the negative. No beard. Mrs. Claus has a pretty face, pretty eyes, and a soft smile. So we're just going to see. Then we're also going to take it into the high quality to see if it, there we go. See, troubleshooting. All right. Now we have our cute little Mrs. Claus, and we're going to take that out now, the older part. And we're going to say red hat, dress and apron. We're going to do the high quality this time just to see what it does. So But now she's cute. Okay, so now we got a different look because we took older out of it. So now we got a. I wouldn't use her as a Mrs. Claus. I would use her as a helper. She could just be a little helper, Mrs. Claus's helper, but still very cute. Okay, so let's regenerate this one in the fast. The little dresses are super cute though. I'm going to try to do something also. Now she's a cute Mrs. Claus. So I'm going to regenerate, and this time I'm going to put um, it's beginning to look like Christmas. Text on the apron in a pretty font. We're just going to test it. I just think it would be cool if we could get the text on there. Well, let's see. I can't really tell if it's beginning to look. Okay, it's not perfect, but that is super cute on the apron. And that's a super cute Mrs. Claus. So it's beginning to, let's see. Let's do I'm ready for Christmas. I'm ready for Christmas. Or I like Christmas cookies. There we go. Now these would be super cute to use in a pack because there are a lot of different. I like Christmas cookies. Look at that. Very cute. Let's do another one. Baking is my superpower. Still like this. Baking is my superpower. I'm just playing now. Okay, so I also want this to be, I've got it as large as it'll go this way. So I want to apron and wearing combat boots. Okay, here I am just injecting my personality here. Let's see if we can get Mrs. Claus to. These worked fine. You're going to get an outlier sometimes that's not going to. Uh-oh, we put boots on it and now we have a male again. So that didn't work out. So baking is my superpower did work out. So funny. I'm going to keep it in there just for the heck of it because it's funny. Okay, so instead of combat boots, we're going to just, I'm just going to put wearing cute shoes. Cute shoes. And then maybe it'll continue to have the full image if that's what you want. Baking is my superpower. Cute. So there's all these different ways we worked through a major problem because I think putting a beard on Mrs. Santa Claus is probably a major problem, but there we worked it out. How cool is that? Okay, so let's go back to the Ultimate Themes Playbook and we're going to dig a little deeper for Christmas things because I would love to get into like festive decor. That's where you're looking at your ornaments and you're looking at like Christmas trees, your wreaths, mistletoe, holly, clusters, poinsettias, all of that sort of thing. So there's another place that you can do as you can cross over, and I'm going to go to here is we actually have a whole section on florals. And right here it says seasonal flowers. So when we go to seasonal flowers, then you can start to see some different like add-ons and stuff. So it's kind of a cross-marketing kind of thing. Those are fantasy flowers. Let's go back to the seasonal again. I kind of scrolled over it, I think. So we can go up to the colors, white, silver, evergreen. That's more like wintry. But this does give you some elements. Like for winter, you've got poinsettias, holly, white roses, that kind of thing. Seasonal wreaths and garlands. Okay. And then, so once you kind of get your concept, okay, I'm going to make this. I want to make a holiday pack that'll be good for people that are doing invitations or they're doing home decor items. Like they want to maybe do things that they can transfer onto their holiday cloth napkins, or they want to do a really pretty, wall piece for, wall art, or not really wall art, but framed art that they could sit around for the holidays. Um, excuse me. So what we're going to do is we're going to pop in and we're going to, actually, I've already done a few of these. I'm going to go to the to this folder so that I can grab. I'm going to go back and I'm going to play with this. I'm going to grab this here. This one was done in the watercolor portrait, which is actually very pretty. I'm going to play with it inside. I'll just do it inside that one. So watercolor portrait. And so we're going to look at my prompt, and I have this as a scrapbook page. I don't want it to be a scrapbook page. I do want it to be vintage inspired and spray element. I'm taking away all of the steampunk elements. If you watched that, then okay. So we're going to holly and berries, copper wire. I'm taking away anything. Okay, I'm going to keep all of that. Sepia, dusty, red, pale parchment. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to select the aspect ratio. We're going to do a test image because now we want to work with some florals. And we know that aspect ratio can definitely affect how those florals look. Okay, so these are really cool. So let's take these. We're going to go in and I'm going to test them, because if we want to use these to give people elements to do invitations and things like that with, we're going to need to know that it cleans up really well. And watercolors are one of those things that are kind of iffy. So, okay, so that did really well. Inside, this is pixel cut, and inside pixel cut, we now can use this refine, which is really cool. You can just kind of go clean up any of the little edges. And for me, I would probably, what I would do is I would probably do away with this and then just, you know, but it looks as if it did pretty well. And I might would go in and actually refine and take, I think that it would be more usable to take. And the thing about it is, it doesn't save it. So if you're editing and doing away with these things here, you want to do everything you're going to do in one swipe before you, and then when you do done, everything's done, rather than, and we're going to download it because we don't know for sure that that's going to be good until we're able to look at it against the black background. See how lovely that is? That is absolutely gorgeous. Would be a great seller. You could use it for all sorts of holiday invitations, table place cards, all that kind of stuff. This is gorgeous. So I'm going to do several of these to actually see what sort of pack we could do. So my goal is going to be around 12 images. So I'm going to do 4. We're going to keep them at that aspect ratio, and then I'm probably going to do another 4 in a different aspect ratio. But we're just going to see how those work up. Lovely. Gorgeous. And the thing about it is you could use like this, you could use this as a frame. Maybe not for the clip art pack, but we could keep that for a different thing. All of these will probably come clean. You could actually you could split this in 2 with the larger aspect ratio. Let's do another one. And I'm just kind of trying to show you how quickly your actual production can be for some of these projects. I'm going to go to the sort of narrowest. I'm going to do a test one just to see what it looks like, and then I'll do 4 more. So we're going to end up with between 12 and more. Look at that. That's really pretty. Very pretty. Okay, so I'm going to do 4 more like this. And I have to change it back to I think I'll do a little bit different and test those. Those will be. So this one came up with even some really pretty frames. That would be actually very pretty worked into your junk journals and stuff. So now we have individual items that can be used and incorporated both in junk journals, but also into invitation creation, home decor items as well, because, something like as simple as this would be really pretty framed. It really would, and it would make really pretty home decor. So you have to look at, the different effects. So this one, again, is under the watercolor portrait, and it's given us a very natural, pretty natural look. And we can even go into volume 2 and go here under the floral and botanical, or the natural, nature and wildlife. And then you've got drawn and sketch inspired clip art. So you have several different ones that you can look. But the floral and botanicals, you could also add something like this in and see what it gives you. We'll go into here and just add it. And we can just kind of add it down here. See what it does. I know that y'all are probably going, she never tells me exactly where to put what. And that's because it differs from prompt and from the generator you're using. So I try to show you that if one thing does not work, then you just try something different. And that's what the playbooks are so good about, is you can wiggle them all around. And if one thing is not working, then go for the other. Flip it around, move it around, and go from there. Okay, so we added that little element in there, and then we got this, which is also kind of cute. I'm going to do a few of those, but I'm going to back it up to here so it's a little bunchier. And I'm going to add, let's see, I'm just going to add this grouped into a cascading bouquet, and just see what that gives us. Playing with some of those more botanical terms. That's gorgeous. Very pretty. Let's look at the elements it included. It's got your holly and everything. I mean, you could really, that's definitely very holiday looking. And let's test that one out. Whoops, let's go back up and grab it. Let's see, I'm going to download it and then we're going to see if it will come clean or like how much cleanup we would have to do with it because that's such a vital element. So, but I love the background. The background's gorgeous. Okay, so we've got a little bit of that on there, the little sprinkles and stuff, which I would still probably include in a pack. If you have ones that you don't like particularly, you can always eliminate those. But let's just see how it looks. See, that still looks very pretty. Would be very pretty. I mean, nothing, I mean, all of those elements, the little dots and stuff, just they're fine. They could still be used in. Let me just show you how I would use that. Let me go into Canva. Okay, so I'm going to grab this here and then just kind of show you how you could use it. Okay, so if I wanted to use this, I'd probably start it there. You could literally do it like this and actually like this. And then let's see, make a copy of it. I'm going to flip it around and put it like this. I'm going to flip around and put it like this. And you've got your that. You could then go in and grab an element, grab a something like this. And we could do a couple of different colors. Let's see, we could try the green like this, position it to the back behind here. Just however you wanted to do it. And then the very background, we could even do black. Or we could do, let's go down here and choose this color. Now that doesn't look very Christmassy. I would probably go with either white or black if I were doing it for holiday. But then you would put like welcome to whatever. You could duplicate this. You could even turn it around like this and do it again. Flicking it around a little bit different like that. Do this. Like that. And then like that. So lots of ways that you could use that or use these elements. So you just have to get your mind around, if you're not making invitations, if you're not making these other things, you need to educate yourself just enough that the people that are purchasing your products, you're creating for them. So you're creating for those end uses, and then you'll be more successful with creating products that will sell for you. Okay, let's see. Back to the ultimate here. I'm just going to kind of go back to give you a little, this is what the cover, if you're looking for the Ultimate Themes Playbook, that's what that looks like. And then this is the volume 2. Um, I'm just going to kind of go through the different playbooks. This one is the Mastering AI Clip Art and Design. I've worked out of it today. This one is the Junk Journal one, which is only available on Gumroad. And then this one is the Digital Product Creators Playbook, Visibility, Traffic Growth, and Strategies. I think everybody needs to have this one because it has so much in it that can help you to go beyond the Etsy algorithm and being dependent on that for your sales and start sending traffic to Etsy yourself. Because if you already have a mechanism to actually send traffic, like for me, a couple of the ways are my Facebook group know about me. My Instagram folks, they know about me because those are points of contact I have with other creators. And then also my videos are a way that my fellow creators know what I have and that sort of thing. So it's an easy way to send that traffic for the processing, which I find is easier than me trying to deal with sales tax. So anyway, I don't mind Etsy making their little bit to make it easier for me to not to have to do things that I don't really want to do. I don't mind doing the taxes at the end of the year, but all those little taxes, no, thank you. That's just not for me. So anyway, that's the way I look at about the fees that they charge. I think they're very reasonable. And, from any perspective, our overhead is going to be, as digital creators, a lot less than if you're dealing in physical goods. So anyway, all right. Thank you for watching the video, and I want to remind you about the AI Artist Playbooks. They're what I have been using to do this video and do the create the prompts with. And they have tons of different word banks, phrase banks, textures, all the things you need to create your own unique prompts and elevate your prompting and your image creation with AI. You can purchase those on Etsy and on Gumroad. If you are in the EU, you will have to purchase through Gumroad, and I do currently have a discount coupon, and it's Summer 50. And if you're buying through Etsy, the discounted prices will already, if there's a current sale, be applied to, and there'll be a sale price. You don't have to use a code. And as far as the playbooks go, the Junk Journal edition is only available on Gumroad. It's not available on Etsy anymore. And so if you don't have Artistly and you've just been watching the videos and you like what you see, there's no time like the present to jump right in. You'll have a lot of fun with it. There are many, many different creators inside Artistly. My videos sometimes cover one, sometimes they cover multiple designers inside Artistly. But if you're thinking about buying it, I would appreciate it if you'd use my affiliate link. It's located down in the description, and it does not cost you anything more to use it. You can even use the coupon codes that the company releases occasionally floating around out there. I think they do have a 10% or something going right now, but it may be more. I don't know when you're watching this. So check around and see if there's a coupon code you can apply, and you can help me out, save some money too. I have a Facebook group that is free to join, and I also have a weekly newsletter that is also free to get, and it just has lots of ideas on how to create, how to market your products, all those sort of neat digital product creator things. So that information and those links are also in the description. So you're welcome to join those. I even have a VIP program for anybody. Well, not program. It's a group. It's a Facebook group, but it is a VIP. So once you purchase, then you qualify to belong to that group if you'd like to join it. If you have any trouble making the link is actually in the Playbooks. So for that VIP group, or if for some reason you can't find it, just send me a message or a comment or something, and I will help you find out how to get into that group if you've purchased one of the Playbooks. And until next time, happy creating.